Guidestones in Elbert County, the 19-foot structure mysteriously appeared in 1979, described with 10 guiding principles, leading to countless rumors and conspiracy theories about who built them and why. Don White is live with a closer look at the damage. And Don, it looks a lot different right now than it did even when we were looking at this location just about an hour ago.
Well, that's right, Jennifer. It was about 20 minutes ago. We were looking outside of the window, and then we saw a backhoe pushing down those structures down there. There were about 4 of them still standing, and all that remains right now is that mangled pile of rubble.
Wow, like really wow.
That's the first thing that went through Timothy Rucker's mind, seeing this destruction in what people around here have dubbed the American Stonehenge.
That's historical, and why would you disturb that?
That's what the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is trying to figure out. Investigators say unknown individuals detonated an explosive device around 4 this morning. Our chopper capturing the aftermath.
You wouldn't think something like that happened, you know?
John Gary said the blast could be heard and felt miles away.
I don't know why. Like that's the shocker of it all. You really don't know why somebody would do something like that. I mean, they put themselves in a lot of trouble over blowing up some rocks.
If they'll do something like that, whoever done it will do something different. I mean, I hope they catch whoever done it, to be honest with you. Because people like that don't need to be on the street.
We have seen videos circulating on social media claiming that this all was caused by a lightning strike. I did reach out to the GBI earlier this afternoon to confirm if that video is authentic, and they just got back to me and told me at this point they cannot confirm if that video is real.
A monument known as the American Stonehenge was damaged by an explosion. The Georgia Guidestones, a 19-foot set of granite monoliths, has stood in Elberton, about 110 miles from Atlanta, since 1980. There are conflicting reports as to which person or group erected the stones. Engraved on the stones are 10 principles written in 12 different languages. Some of the messages meant for current and future generations include protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts, balance personal rights with social duties, and avoid petty laws and useless officials. Authorities say the explosion occurred at the Guidestones around 4 a.m. on July 7th. A silver sedan was seen on surveillance video driving away from the scene. Though the location has been a target for vandalism before, this explosion has left the monument badly damaged. It had to be demolished for safety reasons, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. The Georgia Guidestones have been the subject of conspiracy theories. Some religious groups have called the stones satanic. Former Republican gubernatorial candidate Candace Taylor ran on the platform that if elected, she would demolish the Georgia Guidestones in order to bring the satanic regime to its knees. An investigation is underway and no arrests have been made at this time. Anyone with information is asked to leave an anonymous tip at 1-800-597-8477. This is Inside Edition Digital.
GBI is hoping new video will help them nail down the person responsible for blowing up the Georgia Guidestones. Check it out. The GBI says this video shows the person leaving an explosive device at the structure and then running away. We've circled them for you so you can see that person going in and then running right back out a little bit later. This morning, the Elbert County District Attorney is promising to prosecute whoever caused this drastic scene here, blowing up the Guidestones. The prosecutor says whoever is behind this, they say they're going to catch them for sure. Now, we do understand only one portion was damaged on Wednesday, but they had to demolish the whole thing because of safety.
A monument known as the American Stonehenge was damaged by an explosion. The Georgia Guidestones, a 19-foot set of granite monoliths, has stood in Elberton, about 110 miles from Atlanta, since 1980. There are conflicting reports as to which person or group erected the stones. Engraved on the stones are 10 principles written in 12 different languages. Some of the messages meant for current and future generations include protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts, balance personal rights with social duties, and avoid petty laws and useless officials. Authorities say the explosion occurred at the Guidestones around 4 a.m. on July 7th. A silver sedan was seen on surveillance video driving away from the scene. Though the location has been a target for vandalism before, this explosion has left the monument badly damaged. It had to be demolished for safety reasons, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. The Georgia Guidestones have been the subject of conspiracy theories. Some religious groups have called the stones satanic. Former Republican gubernatorial candidate Candace Taylor ran on the platform that if elected, she would demolish the Georgia Guidestones in order to bring the satanic regime to its knees. An investigation is underway and no arrests have been made at this time. Anyone with information is asked to leave an anonymous tip at 1-800-597-8477. This is Inside Edition Digital.
Thanks. Happening right now in eastern Georgia, investigators are working to learn what and who damaged the Georgia Guidestones. So far, we know part of the 42-year-old monument was damaged by some kind of explosive. It's all happening in Elbert County. That's near the South Carolina border. CBS 46's Zach Summers joins us there live. Zach, what's the latest for us?
Tracy, just within the last 15 minutes, the monument was leveled as crews were working the site. Those last 3 remaining pillars came falling down. The Guidestones is one of Georgia's most mysterious structures to this day. We don't know the true identity of the group responsible for erecting the granite monolith. Now, some 40 years later, after its inception, the GBI's Special Operations Unit, along with several law enforcement agencies, are sifting through the rubble, looking for clues into who tried to bring it down. 2 hours northeast of Atlanta, near the South Carolina border, an investigation is underway into the partial destruction of the Georgia Guidestones outside the town of Elberton.
There's a lot of hate in this world, but it's not on those blocks.
According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, a group of people set off an explosive device around 4 Wednesday morning, destroying a large portion of the 19-foot tall monument.
I know that one of the wings is completely destroyed and is laying on the ground. The other ones probably have been compromised as well, and I know the capstone has been compromised.
Chris Cubis is with the Elberton Granite Association. The group works with the county to preserve the Guidestones, which were unveiled in 1980.
We had visitors come to see that monument from around the world, and you know, now it's been damaged.
Known as the Stonehenge of America, the Guidestones consist of 4 massive granite slabs, each weighing more than 40,000 pounds. Engraved on them, a 10-part message in 12 different languages, offering a guide on how to preserve mankind.
They told us what they wanted to do.
In May, GOP gubernatorial candidate Candace Taylor vowed to demolish the structure if elected, claiming the Guidestones are satanic.
Those kinds of statements, they're incendiary, and they can cause people to do things. So, I hate to think that that's what would have done it.
It's the lifeblood of Elberton.
For Elberton's Mayor Daniel Graves, the Guidestones represent the quality and skill the men and women who make up the town's thriving stone industry possess.
For 122 years, we've been making memorials for the entire nation. 2/3 of the memorials in the United States come from Elberton.
He said his community may be heartbroken now, but they will recover.
The only thing stronger than the granite we stand on top of is the hearts of our community.
And again, the monument, all pillars on the ground tonight, no one injured. We do understand that the Guidestones have been vandalized in the past, but not to this extent. There are cameras in the area. You can bet the GBI will be looking through that footage. They also want to hear from anyone who may have seen anything early this morning or knows anything about the people responsible. For now, live in Elberton, Zach Summers, CBS 46 News.
Story getting a lot of attention tonight. An explosion destroyed part of a popular North Georgia monument that's been the source of a lot of speculation over 4 decades.
Those near the Georgia Guidestones say that they heard a loud boom this morning. Now officials are working to figure out who did it. Fox 5's Eric Perry is live near that monument in Elbert County, where crews have been at that site for over 12 hours now.
Yeah, Courtney, Tom, if you joined us at 4 o'clock, you would have actually seen part of that monument still erected. Within that past hour, crews brought in equipment and they've knocked the remaining portion of it down. You're taking a live look here as they're working through this. A lot of agencies working together on this. We are standing on this side because at one point crews didn't know if there were other bombs that were planted or not detonated earlier. Whether you're in the air or on the ground, the massive presence from law enforcement is unmatched after an explosion jolted those surrounding the Georgia Guidestones near Elberton Wednesday morning.
For the years, we've had messages spray painted on the Guidestones, but we've never had this level of damage ever done to the Guidestones.
Christopher Kuvas is with the Elberton Granite Association. His organization's in charge of maintaining the popular tourist site. He says the county owns the property and maintains security.
One of the wings is completely been destroyed. It's actually laying on the ground. I can see it. And the capstone piece is been damaged, and I'm sure the other 3 wings and the center support probably have damage to them as well.
The attraction was unveiled in 1980 by R.C. Christian and a group who funded the project. The detailed granite work was done by a local manufacturing company, and it's no small feat. The wings are over 16 feet tall, 6 feet wide, and a weight of a whopping 42,000 pounds.
You know, here we are several thousand years later and Stonehenge is still standing. Imagine if it had writing on it and you could read what the people of that time thought was important and wanted to leave for future generations. That's what the Guidestones were.
The stones don't come without controversy. Some found them offensive, like former gubernatorial candidate Candace Taylor, who took to social media in May voicing her disdain. Taylor tweeted more thoughts against the stones shortly after the explosion.
We actually had to install cameras several years ago after the vandalism got so bad. But, you know, it does break my heart. You know, if you don't like the message that was written on them, you know, that's understandable. That's your prerogative. But, you know, there's no reason to take it away from other people that might.
And back out here live, taking another look as they continue to work. And we're also going to show you on this side, the main road is open back up, but you can just see that massive presence here. ATF on scene, GBI, and also local officials as well. If you know anything about who might be responsible for this, come forward. Of course, you can remain anonymous. That's the latest here in Elbert County. I'm Eric Perry, Fox 5 News.
All right, Eric, thanks for the latest from there.